Hello, everyone, and welcome to Get More Clients. I'm your host, Lynn Whitbeck. Business owners and entrepreneurs hire me to ignite winning sales because most are chasing down clients stuck in a chaotic sales cycle and lacking client retention, conversions, and profits. The mission of this show is to educate, inspire, and motivate women around the world to build a robust sales strategy to get more clients. Because most can't get more clients and haven't a clue why. You will learn to transform thinking to the client's perspective, end sales chaos with a robust strategic plan, and to harvest the hidden profits. You will also have the opportunity to connect with me further and see how I can support you beyond today. So last week, we uncovered the top secrets to building your ideal and ultimate client avatar. Today, we're going to be revealing pain points and where and how to connect with your ideal client avatar. In doing so, you're going to be able to create that spark, attraction, and then the ability to further connect with your ideal clients and then get more clients. By the end of this show, you're going to know how to identify your ideal client avatar pain points, leverage the power of imagery and visualization, and find out where your ideal clients hang out in bunches. You will discover the shortest path to creating the relationship spark to get more clients. And, on the last show, after the show, I had some questions that came up, and specifically, someone asked me to go over an example of doing their business, which was training and coaching for real estate agents. And so I thought it would be a great opportunity today for us to walk through that and use this as a totally fresh example, one that I haven't used before, so we can really go through the entire exercise and then get to our pain points. So once again, this is for a business that is focused on training and coaching real estate agents. So the first thing that we always want to do is start with that want, need, or lack. And so in this case, it really is to get more listings per month. What do real estate agents want? And I should further clarify that this is for residential real estate agents, so they want to get more listings. Problem that they're trying to solve is to earn more and work less. And a concern that they'd like to address is that they are working in a fiercely competitive market and why it matters. This is going through that whole client thinking exercise. Hopefully it ringing some bells. In this case, it's to be recognized as a top producer and to spend more time with family and friends. And the solution benefits them by giving them a better work-life balance with improved satisfaction and success. So they can build strong relationships to drive referrals, winning more business with ease while helping more families. So then as we go through all of our client thinking exercises and we start to looking at motivations, what's motivating that client thinking? And in this case, we're looking at the profit and gain because they want to earn more money. They're also looking at the motivation of comfort and pleasure because they want to work less and spend more time with their family and friends. Okay, another motivation, pride and prestige, because they want to be a top producer, want to be known as one of the best, in their office, in their city, in their field, right? And finally, belonging, because in sales, it's a lot about relationships. It is about the relationships that you build, the community that you create, and the referrals that you receive as a result. So when we look at those motivations, then we ask what type of emotions are tied to those motivations. And, there's a whole gamut that we could go through for this particular client for the real estate coaching. So let's sort of look through those. One would be fear. And as you remember, last week, we'd covered or 2 weeks ago, the top 10 emotional motivators. So I'm going to just cover some of those that apply in this scenario. So fear is one. not earning enough money. Guilt could be they're spending too much time at work. Time, they want to work less, right? So that they're going to have more time for their family and friends. And we've talked about belonging. And that's part of training and educating their community, right? So they want to be part of a training and education community so that they belong to a bigger sphere that's going to support them. And trust, they want a relationship driven experience. So that's very important. And then value, they want to get results, right? And then another emotional trigger is going to be leadership. They want to be perceived and seen and actually be a top producer in their area. And as I talked about, as we looked at the market segment, it was US residential real estate. And so then we're going to go ahead and do some deep dive into demographics. And trust me, just keep going on this journey, because where we're going to get with this is we're going to get to really brainstorming all those pain points. Demographics. So one of the key things is you want to go through demographics and psychographics. We went through all of that last week. So here's what's crazy is that Google is such a friend to you, because you can find all kinds of information. And for any industry and any niche that you have, most likely there is a association, a national association in whichever country you're in. Here in the US, we have the National Association of Realtors. So we could literally Google this, get to their website, and they have some tremendous stats that are available from just last year, 2021. And here was some things that we found from that information. More than 65% of realtors are women. The median age of realtors in the US is 52. The typical realtor attended college and is a homeowner. Over 3 million active real estate licenses in the United States. Now that's a big pool, over 3 million real estate licensees, I should say, right? That's a lot of people that you have to sell to. And more than 40% of active realtors are in just 4 states: California, Florida, Texas, and Arizona. So that populated Sun Belt. And then the really interesting piece of information that came out of this is that 20% of realtors have had their license for 1 year or less. I don't know about you, but it was suddenly like light bulb. So in this scenario, of course, for real estate training and coaching, these are going to be those people that are definitely looking, they're hungry, and they're looking for any kind of edge that can get them started in their career. So this is a great statistic to have, because that's 1/5 of that 3 million. I mean, that's a lot. That's a big number. All right. So then as we dove in deeper, and this is all available on the National Association of Realtors site, the median gross commissionable income for agents working 19 to 40 hours just last year in 2021 was $43,300. So, you know, depending on the hours that you're putting in, obviously that 19 to 40, that's going to be sort of swinging, but, you know, it's not like you're earning a tremendous amount of money. And most realtors actually worked 35 hours per week in 2021. And the agents who worked 40 to 60 hours per week, well, they basically doubled their income because they were earning $87,550. Now, what's interesting about this, as you can see, is what's happening is they're actually putting in a lot more hours to double their income. And then 68% of homeowners reported that they found their agent via a referral from friends or family. So that is a really big number, 68% through referrals. So when we go through and we're starting to look at those statistics and we're building out our ideal client avatar, and we're going to rethink and go through our client thinking with this additional information, now we start to think of, well, what are the 5 questions that your prospects need to answer? Heck yes, in order for you to invest your time to serve them. All right. So these are things that you can actually ask also in that initial vetting process or in that initial lead generation process. So here were the 5 top questions that we brainstormed. 1, They had their license for 1 year or less, because that's at 20%. That's a big number of 3 million people. They want to earn more. Okay, that's got to be a driver. They've got to be motivated, right? That's got to be a primary motivator. They want to work less by being more effective. So they're going to be working less and earning more because they're more effective. All right. Once again, that's going to be a big motivator, because then they're not going to feel the guilt that they're not spending time with their family and friends, and that time, that valuable time, as an emotional motivator. They need to build a strong referral network. So this is a heck yes, because in this particular organization, they really have an expertise about the referral process. And so that's a heck yes for them, because that's one of their value adds of what they deliver. And finally, that the audience, this ideal client avatar, needs to answer a heck yes, that they believe in continuing education and training are the key components of their success. All right. So they have this core belief. So this is something that is in part of their DNA. And that's going to be, once again, that's a heck yes as to why they're an ideal client for this real estate training and coaching organization. Okay, so now we have this really good picture of this ideal client avatar, and we can start describing them and then rethink and relook at their why. So what do we have? All right, I want everyone just take a moment. All right, we're going to picture this ideal client avatar with all this information that I've done. I've basically gone through this exercise over the last 6 weeks of education on the show, and we're putting it all together. All right, so what did I just talk about? It's a 52-year-old woman in a highly populated and growing Sunbelt state. All right, so that sort of starts to picture, she's wearing sunglasses, maybe she's driving a convertible, wearing a sun hat. You can start to picture her, right? She's attended college and she's a homeowner. So once again, that's adding yet another dynamic. We know that she values education. We have some behavioral information, if you're a homeowner and all the responsibilities that come with that, right? All right, so now we're going to look at, she's working 35 hours per week, but she's only earning $43,000 per year. So this is, once again, this is that demographic information, but it's helping us paint the picture of our ideal client avatar. So this is our market segment niche too, as part of our ideal client avatar, that they've only had their license for 1 year or less. So they're hungry, they're motivated, they're driven. They've just spent a lot of time and energy to get their real estate license, time, energy, and money, to get their real estate license. And they want it to pay off. They've made an investment in themselves in this new career. All right. So the other thing that we want to think about, because there was more data that I didn't reveal on the real estate stats that we got from that National Realtor Association, and that's that they are tech and social savvy. So what does that mean? Well, 70% have their own website, and 93% communicate with their clients through text messaging. And 74% of realtors are using Facebook, and 56% LinkedIn for professional purposes. So that goes into really creating this really great picture of who our ideal client avatar is, right? So now I want everybody to sort of absorb that. We've got this picture of her. And remember, that's one of the things, we want to get a picture of her. We want to get a picture of her so we can really look her. Maybe we're going to name her. Maybe we're going to call her Marge. Whatever you want to do. And we've got this picture of her. We know who she is. And now we start thinking about Marge. And we're going to start going through our pain points exercise. And this is the exercise I want all of you to start today. I want you to work on this. And this is the first thing. For the pain point exercise, I want you to get a big sheet of paper. Or you take an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So I've got one right here, and you're going to turn it sideways. So when you do that, and of course it should be blank. don't have something on it, a blank sheet, but you're going to put three columns on there. Just take a nice rule, freestyle or with a ruler and put 3 columns. So you've got 3 columns on that sheet of paper. If you got a bigger sheet of paper, more the merrier. And in fact, if you can get a big sheet of paper, like when your office supply store or a sheet of butcher paper, whatever it is, you can, or a great idea is a whiteboard, a big whiteboard. You can do it in that way as well. Because one of the great things about doing a pain point exercise is that you can actually bring in, either virtually or live and in person, your peers, your friends, family members, and have a brainstorming party. Okay, so we're going to make this fun. We're going to sort of gamify it, right? And we're going to bring in our friends and family to help us brainstorm about the pain points. Okay, so when you start doing this pain point, they go in column 1 and you're going to label it at the top, pain points. All right, now start brainstorming and thinking about every single pain point these people have. I mean, whatever it is, just start going down. What are the different pain points they have? Okay. And this can be a lot of fun. So we've already talked about a bunch of them because we've identified them before when we were going through our initial client why, when we were going through our motivations and our emotions. So we can capture all those again, right? They want more time to spend with their family and friends. Their work, they're working not very effectively to earn not enough money. Okay. So they like to earn more money. And you start just going through all these pain points. They are communicating in all these different ways that they have to manage and have to stay on top of. So they could use some tools to make that more effective, or some processes to sort of minimize the chaos. All right. So you just start going through all the different pain points that they have, really building that spark and that connection and the rapport so that they can get more listings, so that they can develop more one-on-one buyer broker agreements. So that means that the home buyer literally signs an agreement to work just exclusively with that real estate agent so that they can find the home of their dreams. So the home buyer finds that perfect home for themselves and their family. So you keep going. Just let's brainstorm like crazy here. I mean, that's the whole point. You know what? They could be, I'm just going to start spitballing here so we have some fun with this. They could be feel like they're so rushed, their time is so pressed that they don't have the time to really enjoy a really nice family meal that they all work together to create and put on the table, so then they can celebrate everyone's day. That's a really wonderful way of building that family relationships. And, a lot of these women, they could be moms. I mean, we didn't have any information about that, but likely many of them are moms. At this point, at 52, they could even be grandmas. So who knows, right? But these are all things that are going to matter to them, or having a bunch of their friends over to do that. So these are all things that are going to be, you should go through this brainstorming exercise, list every single thing that you can think of that's a pain point. And when you're doing this, I want you to have some fun with it. That's why, grab some friends and get them involved, to bring in a bottle of wine or a non-alcoholic spritzer, and just no idea is a stupid idea, right? Because you want other people's perspectives about these pain points, because other viewpoints, other people from an alternate paradigm or seeing things from another angle are going to give you some ideas you hadn't thought of. And then you can work through those. Now, you've got this whole list. Now, we've taken this big whiteboard. It's like a 60-inch whiteboard, and we filled our one column all the way down to the bottom. At the end, we're scribbling things in. We're trying to wedge them in. We've got so many ideas. Now, when you've done that, well, you're probably going to need another whiteboard or another color Marco of those Expo markers, right? We're going to highlight which ones are the top 10. All right. What are the top 10 pain points that this ideal client avatar that you've created, what are they experiencing? What are they facing? What are those challenges? What are those pain points? And this could be, like I said, that want, need, or lack. So what are those pain points? Now you've marked the top 10. Now maybe you put a star by them, a red star. Now we're going to pick the top 3. Which are the top 3 pain points that really will have resonance with your ideal client avatar? And you're going to circle those. So you're going to circle those top 3. Now you have a very clear idea of what their pain points are and the top 10, and then those important top 3. Is you're going to be building out your outreach and your communication around these pain points, around those top 3, especially. All right. Now, remember I had 3 columns. Let's go to column number 2. In column number 2, you are going to list all of the benefits that you deliver. Now, I don't want to talk features here. We're talking benefits. How do they benefit from working with you, right? And so in this training scenario that we've worked out for training and education for realtors, they're going to learn a referral process. Remember, that was one of our top 5 questions, because in this case, when I was working with that client after the show during the Q&A, we were working through that. And by the way, that's the great thing about joining the show live every week, is that you get to participate in those. So I want to mention that. So try to be here live, and you're going to get a whole bunch more out, and you can ask me anything. Well, so as you're working through that, that's a great benefit, right? They're actually going to get that benefit of that process so that they can incorporate referrals into their DNA, because referrals are the quickest and shortest way to create a shorter timeline for acquiring clients, for your client acquisition. And they are more profitable. They already know something about you because they've been recommended to you by a trusted resource. So you actually get to speed up the entire client journey process. So that's a beautiful thing. So that's a real benefit. So you keep going through all the benefits that you deliver for your clients. Now you're going to do the same exercise. We filled up that whiteboard. We've scribbled everything in, and we're going to prioritize those top 10. But this is based on, how do these line up with the pain points? What are the top 10 benefits you deliver? And are you addressing those top 10 pain points? Is there a gap, something that you need to fill in, or something that you provide that maybe isn't in the top 10, but it's still a pain point? And then you want to highlight, once again, you're going to circle, if we're working on that whiteboard, and maybe we're going to use a different color, green. We're going to highlight the top 3, those top 3 benefits that you deliver to your ideal client avatar. And once again, now we're going to be looking at this, and we're going to be checking for alignment. And the great thing about doing this exercise is it actually allows you, knowing the pain points, of really framing your benefits in your client's language so that you're able to really communicate effectively with them when you know their pain points, and then you put your benefits in that same frame. All right. You had column number 3. Remember there was column number 3? Well, column number 3 is at the top, and this one, it's going to be relatable imagery. All right. So column 1 was pain points. Column 2 was the benefits that you deliver. And column 3 is relatable imagery. So what do I mean by that? So it means that taking those pain points and what you deliver, how can you create how can you find, or what images? It's not how you can find. There's lots of ways to find images. Trust me, tons and tons of ways that you can get really high quality images very easily. So, and this is not just searching for them on Google. There's all kinds of great photo sites that you can subscribe to and access. All right. So what images really represent that, right? And so just for an idea, so this is sort of for me, one of the images that I came up when people are looking at, like, well, how do I create a sales strategy? I don't even know where to start. It was this woman looking at a road sign that's going in all different directions. And she's literally going like, oh, what the what? Where the heck? Where do I start? And so that was one idea of an image, right? That sort of communicating so much, because that's the key. When you find relatable images and imagery, you know, they can be cartoons, they can be graphics, they can be an actual photo. They are speaking so much more, because remember, your brain processes images 60,000 times faster than a word. So these images speak a lot. And that's that whole images speak 1,000 words, right? It's because they process them so much faster. So we want to create images and find imagery that matches up, especially with those top 10 and the top 3. What are some images that are going to represent that? And maybe you don't know what they are right now, but you have an idea of what you want to find. And once again, this is where you're brainstorming with your partner, your peers, your friends, and you're really enjoying this. Maybe at this point you've got some chocolate out or some beautiful cheese, and you're snacking as you're working on this. And you're going to fill that out, and you're going to write out what that is that you're looking for. All right, now the last exercise that I want us to talk through is how to find out where they hang out in bunches. And for this, we're going to really brainstorm. Once again, we've got everybody together. Maybe now we've moved out to the deck and we've got an outdoor fireplace or fire pit, and we've got blankets, and we're going through it. But in this case, we already heard that realtors are really active on Facebook or LinkedIn. So let's look at groups, Facebook groups and LinkedIn groups. They're probably members of those, right? And it's a great opportunity for you to connect with those group admins and build a relationship so that you can start providing content and into that group or groups. Real estate, like every type of industry and market, has trade shows and conferences. Once again, Google is your friend. There's so many, and you can look at things that are local events that you can attend where you'll be able to meet in person and connect with realtors, and especially people who are running the office, who own the brokerage, right? So now there's another way. There are real estate podcasts. I actually went on to Apple after the show last week, and we started counting. And at 200, I just stopped because there were so many. So you could go on as a thought leader onto these real estate podcasts, talking about topics that were relatable to your ideal client avatar, and then how people can then connect with you. Same thing, YouTube, there were so many. I mean, I didn't even bother to try to count, just tons and tons. And for different types of businesses, once again, you can go to Chamber of Commerce events. These are common places that realtors will attend, these types of events, and community events where you can potentially meet face-to-face realtors in this target audience, and it may work for you as well. So this whole point is that we've been building out your pain points and how to convey those pain points and your solution with imagery. And it's the key communication foundation to your sales strategy, because as you're moving through the client thinking and how you will attract and hold your ideal client's attention, right? That spark. And so your research into where your ideal clients gather in groups and hang out provides the gateway to find and easily create that spark to attract them. And in the coming episodes, we're going to dive into communication and outreach to attract and connect your ideal client avatars. And for your homework, I want you to go through the pain point and hangout exercises, okay? Leverage your work to refine and your current activities, what you're doing, and the communication to reflect the hidden gems that you found. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in. My purpose is to get you more clients. And on behalf of the Win-Win Women Network, I want to let you know that we have so much that we can offer for you. You can go to our website at petitetoqueen.com, because I want to see how I can further support you in effectively generating more leads and converting more sales and fulfilling on your promise as a brand and organization. And the fastest way to success is to assure people know that they matter. And the best way to make that happen is to build a consistent sales strategy to acquire, convert, and capitalize on every lead. So today we worked and looked at revealing pain points and where and how to connect with your ideal avatar. And if you would like to meet with me, I would love to have you come to petitetoqueen.com. You can connect on our website and you can stay current on all of our insightful advice, our breakthrough advantages, and never miss an episode by signing up for our weekly wisdoms newsletter. And that's at petitetoqueen.com. And next week on Get More Clients, we will be discussing your client journey. Mapping your client journey is an essential building block of good sales strategy. I will see you next week on Get More Clients.